Yogi. Come on.
Okay, all right, get out of the way.
Go sit over.
Hi everyone, today's pose is Utthitha Chaturanga Dandasana, better known as a plank pose. Some contraindications for this pose are weak wrist, as well as just a weak core or general weakness. It's a big pose and it's done a lot in yoga. So let's look at this pose. We'll come onto all fours. You'll bring your wrists directly underneath the shoulders. You're pressing down firmly into the hands. You'll extend the legs straight back. Bring your feet about hips-width distance apart. Press back evenly through your inner outer heels, and you're on the balls of the foot, not up on the toes. Bring your navel up into the spine. Start to awaken the front body. Shift the gaze slightly forward and broaden across the collarbones. You should be feeling the strength of your front core as it supports the back body. Take one more full breath. You're pressing down into the hands. You're pressing down into the balls of the feet. So the quadriceps, the front of the thighs, are lifting up towards the ceiling, but the tailbone is lengthening towards your heels, so your pelvis is neutral. And as you broaden across the chest, it's preventing you from dumping into the shoulders. As you draw into the belly, lengthen the tailbone back, it's preventing you from overlifting the hips. So it's a nice long straight line from the coccyx right out through the crown of the head. And then gently bring it back down. So again, a fairly challenging pose for a lot of folks. It requires full body core strength. Let's look at some modifications that might be helpful for you to build up to this pose. So you may say, Stacy, I'm not strong enough to hold a plank. So here's your first modification. Bring your wrist underneath your shoulders, walk back so your knees are on the ground, curl all 10 toes under, and we're going to take those same alignment points. You'll press back evenly through the inner outer heel. You'll draw the navel up to the spine. You'll start to shift the gaze slightly forward and broaden across the chest. As the navel draws in, the tailbone's lengthening back towards your heels. And work until you feel very solid and strong with the knees on the ground. The second modification is using a block if you have it. You're going to take the block between your inner thighs, just above the knees. You walk your hands out and you're going to bring the balls of your feet up against a wall out in front of you. You lift your hips up, and now I'd like you to adjust yourself so you can get the heels on the wall. You have your wrist underneath the shoulders, and now you're actively going to press your inner outer heels into the wall. You're pressing the balls of your feet down. Hug the block between your inner thighs. This energizes your legs. Draw the belly in, and once again, stay broad across the collarbones. So a couple things that often happen in our plank is that we rely too much on upper body strength, and we forget this is a full body core strengthener. So we've got to also energize the legs, align the body, vacuum up the belly, really find the strength of the center, and now the pose becomes much more full body, and all the effort is in one area, upper body. It's the reason there's a lot of wrist challenges with holding a plank. It's because too much emphasis only on the upper body, and we forget how to energize the legs. So if that's been a difficult part for you, use a block, use a wall, keep practicing, and with time, patience, and a great attitude, hopefully you'll start to love your plank pose.